Well, it's stressful, Alicia, as you know, because that value will directly impact how much you have to pay in property taxes. And your mortgage appraiser, when they're assessing the value of their home, they're looking just at your home. But a city like Lathrop Village here uses sales maps, color-coded maps like this. They have to assess it in big batches, which means things aren't always going to be perfect in any city or county. Some people have reached out to me saying, my assessment is 30 grand, 50 grand above what I paid for it. How did that happen? One man in Detroit, well, his assessment was double what he paid for his home.
Mark Tate and his wife moved to Detroit for work.
Love the vibe and the energy.
When their city tax assessment arrived, they expected their townhome would be valued near the price they paid for it, around $400,000. Instead,
it was almost twice as much as what we paid, over $800,000.
Which means a $21,000 tax increase.
The number's just so unrealistic. It's almost laughable. I don't know how they could have, I don't know what they could have measured to come up with that assessed value for this property.
So how are homes assessed, and how is a mortgage appraisal different than a property tax assessment?
In a perfect world, assessments are at 50% of market value.
Dave Heiber is the equalization officer for Oakland County, and it's not a perfect world.
Because it's a mass appraisal technique, we have to value all 500,000 parcels. The assessors in Oakland County have to do that on an annual basis.
So assessors put residential properties into groups.
It's a combination of the physical characteristics and the sales within that geographic neighborhood.
Home sales for the past 2 years within that group are averaged. Then the home values are scaled up or down based on things like square footage. If the assessment you receive is too high,
the first thing that we suggest is to double check the accuracy of the physical record card to make sure the components that the assessor believes are in your property are in fact in your property.
If all that information is correct, then you can find 3 sales of the most comparable properties nearby and call your city assessor.
And if they're unsuccessful with the assessor, then to the local board review members.
The Tates have already reached out and begun the appeal process with the City of Detroit Assessor's Office.
I'm hopeful that they're going to look at it and say, oh yeah, this is obviously an error, and correct it.
So what can somebody do, Jennifer Ann, to increase their chance of winning an appeal and lowering the assessment?
Well, there's a couple of things you can do. The first step is to call your city assessor, whether the county is taking care of it or your city. Call them right away and do it soon, because the official deadline to submit that initial appeal was this past Saturday. But many communities throughout Metro Detroit say they'll still accept appeals, but you gotta call soon. So make that call soon. One of the big mistakes sometimes happens within the square footage. It could be an easy fix. Maybe they have the wrong square footage for your home. If not, you need to get 3 comparable properties to your property that were recently bought or sold and take those in. Now, if the assessor turns you down, you can ask to see the board of review. So you've got 2 chances to get that assessment lowered. And if you want, there's also lawyers and realtors in each neighborhood that help people handle those for a fee. It's definitely something worth reaching out if you want to make sure that those property taxes aren't any higher than what they need to be.